Information for you tonight about the IPS plan to shut down some schools and remake the district.
Parents now demanding answers about what it means for families across the city. News 8's education reporter Jay Jackson is helping ask those questions.
I know there's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of uncertainties, there's a lot of confusions.
That's why schools are already holding meetings to address parents' concerns. There's one tonight at School 83.
As parents, I'm a parent myself, you make sacrifice to do the things that you want to do.
That said, there's a reason why we have the next 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks for engagement and for meetings to have conversations and discussions about the plan, because we do want to hear that feedback.
In her State of the District address Wednesday night, IPS Superintendent Dr. Alicia Johnson says her proposal would be a 5-year plan, restructuring to a K-5 and 6th through 8th grade model.
We have to make some hard decisions to align our resources in a different way.
The Francis Bellamy Pre-K Center, School 94, 83, and 65 would be closing by the end of the 2022-2023 school year, while School 56, the Benjamin Harrison facility, and School 114 would be merging with other schools.
I do think that there's not a lot of meeting the parents where they are, although they are the decision makers, they are the people that are making those important decisions for families, finding out creative ways to engage those parents and get their get their input.
The consolidation is affecting teachers as well, with strategies from the district to retain educators. They're conducting surveys now for the proposal on where those impacted would go next.
Their preferences, their current licensure area, if there's a geographic part of the district that they would be interested in.
The time for meetings and feedback is now, while the proposal is in phase 3, before being brought before the board in November.
Get involved. Make the sacrifices so that you can get involved, so that you can be a part proactively.
Now, there is going to be public meetings for more feedback from parents and community members later on this month. Reporting out here in Indianapolis, Jay Jackson for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and you can follow us on Facebook.
Well, Governor Eric Holcomb is standing by his decision to approve Indiana's new abortion ban. The ban takes effect tomorrow. News 8's government reporter Garrett Berquist lays out the next steps.
Absent a last-minute court order, the abortion ban takes effect on Thursday. But that doesn't mean the fight is over.
Abortion rights advocates already have filed 2 challenges to the law in state courts. A lawsuit in Monroe County claims it violates the state constitution's right to privacy and to equal privileges. A Marion County case argues the new law violates the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. It cites the teachings of other religions on abortion, such as Judaism. And there's the question of how this affects the November election.
We'll let the policy affect politics as it always does. And fortunately for the state of Indiana, we've always dealt with contentious issues. I was just reflecting on this the other day, and we get through them.
Our focus, my focus, is going to make sure that come November, when people go to vote, they remember the individuals who voted to put this in place and do all that we can, especially with our vote, to get them out of office.
The lawsuit that was filed against the ban in Monroe County has a hearing scheduled for Monday at the State House. Garrett Bergquist, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
Well, Governor Eric Holcomb today named Judge Peter Foley to the Indiana Court of Appeals. Foley currently serves as a Morgan County judge. She was born and raised in Morgan County. A date for Foley's robing ceremony has not yet been scheduled.
A professional sports team moving to Fishers. It's part of a $1 billion economic development plan announced this morning. News 8's Camila Fernandez breaks down what's included in the project.
Incredible opportunity to have $1.1 billion announced on the same day, considered at the same council meeting. That's an extraordinary blessing for our city.
This includes a new event center that will include an arena for the Indy Fuel minor league hockey team beginning with the 2024-2025 season. Right now, the team uses the fuel tank in Fishers for its practice and residential facilities. The investment plan also includes an expansion of the entertainment district.
It's very exciting to get more entertainment, closer things to attend. I'm very excited to hear the Fuel's moving here because we like to go to the Fuel games and have gone down to the fairgrounds in the past to watch them. So it's great for the whole area.
A lot of our decisions over the years have been to position Fishers well in the global market that we find ourselves in today. And so I think these announcements are an affirmation that we've made a lot of good decisions and we're stepping forward into a new chapter for Fishers that I think is really dynamic.
The mayor says the event center could hold high school graduations.
When my son graduated from Hamilton Southeastern, he had to have his graduation down at the fairgrounds, so it would be nice to have it local near the high school.
The expansion of the entertainment district will happen east of I-69 between 106th Street and 116th Street southeast of IKEA. This includes 250 luxury apartments, 60,000 square feet of retail and restaurants, 150 hotel rooms, and office space. The Italy-based Stevanato Group will also further invest in their planned 200,000 square foot facility in the Fishers Life Science and Innovation Park. Construction has already begun on a multi-family and garden home community close to the Forum Event Center. There's also the $200 million Andretti Autosports global headquarters at the Indianapolis Metropolitan Airport. The Fishers City Council will vote on economic development agreements for Stevanato and Andretti Global on Monday. In Fishers, Camilla Fernandez, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
Camilla, thank you. Diamond Pet Foods is building a 700,000 square foot manufacturing and distribution center in Rushville. The governor, along with First Dog Henry, joined company executives today for groundbreaking. Construction is already underway on the $259 million facility. It's expected to open in 2024. The company plans to create up to 170 jobs by the end of 2024.
When we visited Rushville, it just felt right when we came here. I was part of the group that came here, and we walked around and got to meet the people. It felt like home, and I really mean that. And that's probably one of the biggest reasons that we're here today.
Diamond Pet Foods produces dog and cat food. The company currently employs more than 1,000 people across the country. Turning out IT Mate and an Indianapolis group that wants the state to put the brakes on a downtown highway project.
This group says that they have a better plan that would reshape the city. IT Mate's Richard Essex has the story.
A private group called Rethink 6570 believes that NDOT should take a different approach when rebuilding the interstate on the south side of Indianapolis.
It was a vibrant neighborhood. It was a mixture of German immigrants, blacks, and everybody got along.
Vincent Darden has lived most of his life in the old South Side neighborhood. He remembers the area when all the north-south streets like Church, Charles, Pennsylvania, and a half dozen others ran uninterrupted through the city. Interstate 70 was built in the early 1970s when elevated interstates were all the fashion. The construction cut several neighborhoods right in half and took more than 200 homes.
It destroyed the neighborhood. It didn't disconnect it. It just broke up everything.
For the first time in a generation, the state is making plans to redo the interstate. And before the state has a chance to make their plans concrete, the Rethink 6570 group wants a seat at the table, particularly after the North Split construction lifted the interstate even higher from the ground. Brenda Friege is the president of the group, and she has helped marshal a study funded by the Lilly Endowment that says moving the interstate below the existing street level is feasible.
Basically what happens is you can reconnect boulevards over the top, and then you can actually build what's called caps and stitches, which I don't know a whole lot about the technology of that, but it's pretty common. And you can build parks, you can have buildings over the tops of the highway. And that then really brings the neighborhoods back together. So they no longer have an elevated highway as a wall. They can just walk across, and the bridges themselves become connecting points.
Then there's the question of cost. Yes, moving the interstate lower is more expensive, about 25% more expensive than the current $2.3 billion estimate laid out by the state. However, the city of Indianapolis is partnering with Rethink 6570 for a federal grant to further study the redesign of the interstate.
Yes, this has to be a collaborative effort between the city, the community, and the state, because all of those parties have interests, and the state has ownership rights in the interstate.
There is another piece to this concrete puzzle. The federal government can attach design requirements to funding. The Department of Transportation is leaning towards projects that have a positive environmental and societal impacts, which the Rethink 6570 group says their approach aligns with. Darden hopes that moving the elevated interstate would bring people back to the neighborhood.
It would be nice to have families around here again.
If the federal grant is awarded for additional studies, the reconstruction of the southern portion of the loop would not begin until at least 2024 or later. In Indianapolis, Richard Essex, Wish TV, IT Mate.
Thank you. Federal prosecutors call it a massive cyber attack scheme by Iranian citizens. And tonight, News 8 has learned that one of their targets was an Indiana electric company. Prosecutors announced indictments today on 3 men, all from Iran. They say the 3 carried out ransomware attacks on utilities, nonprofits, as well as a number of other situations in Iran. News 8 has also confirmed that the targets of the regional electronic company based in Indiana is federal. Authorities would not name the utility or say if the attack was successful. The hackers have been part of the Iranian government.
Showing solidarity in the battle against crime, Mayor Hogsett and IMPD Chief Randall Taylor joined community members for a public safety walk in Broad Ripple. The walk started in 2017 as a way to build trust between police and residents. The walk also allows people and business owners to share safety concerns and discuss ways to build better partnerships to address crime. It's been a picture-perfect kind of day all across the state. Lots of sunshine, mostly clear skies.
Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown joining us now with the forecast.
Yeah, perfect day for a walk as we've had sunshine and kind of this very dry atmosphere today. Now, the temperatures are a bit warmer. We've seen quite the warming trend. We're actually above average today. As we check in with the 24-hour temperature change map, we are 11 degrees warmer today than where we were yesterday. We're going to check in with this map every day because tomorrow I'm expecting numbers even warmer once again as we track quite the warming trend. Right now we're at 80 degrees for Indy, 75 South Bend. You're at 77 for French Lick. These numbers above average as we were speaking of, but we don't have a lot of humidity right now. I think that's going to change moving forward as we'll increase the temperatures and humidity starting tomorrow. Winds are light, and with light winds and a little moisture kind of left in the atmosphere late tonight, I think we'll see areas of fog tomorrow morning. So kind of plan your day and just know that fog is a possibility. Outside right now, sunshine, no fog, and not a lot of cloud cover out there. It's actually a picture-perfect afternoon. Hopefully you can get out and really enjoy it. I want to check in statewide tonight and talk about the temperature trend. South Bend down to the 50s tonight, 80s and sunshine tomorrow. Chicago, breezy tonight at 62, mid-80s by Friday. And checking in with Evansville, 50s tonight, near 90 by Friday. Over to you.
Ashley, thank you. Open hearts, open eyes. What One Eye Care facility is doing to help underserved communities.
Act of kindness, the kind gesture one community group showed for first responders.
You're watching Wish TV, Indiana's only statewide TV news network.